That's an easy one to get down in with my fingers.
So our house system water is shut off, but there's still water pressure and water in the system. We need to find a faucet that is equal to or lower than the faucet we're working on and open it to relieve the pressure. Leave it open while you work. Remember to shut it off when you're done. This is an example of a frost-free faucet that it's already frozen, and the way these faucets work on the inside is that they're actually a kind of a giraffe faucet, very, very long handle.
And the seal actually takes place right down here at the end. All this area is intended to be drained of water before freezing temperatures occur. If a hose is left on this end, however, if higher than this area, attached here, and it's higher than the faucet and can't drain out, this area remains full of water. And when it does, and freezing temperatures occur, below freezing, heat leaves from this area, and an ice dam begins building and inward, adhering to the walls. The pressure builds up and builds up and builds up. Unfortunately, you can see this bulge shut off at that time. This area splits, and so you never notice that it's actually been frozen until you, at that time in the spring, you don't know that your faucet has failed until in the spring you come back into this area. Turn your faucet on for the first time. If your hose is attached here, pressure builds in this area, and water comes out causing serious water damage. House wall. Okay, so we're going to remove our faucet now, and we start by removing the faucet handle, which comes off there, and then we unscrew the faucet body from the main wall here so that we're able to pull this system out and see where our problem is. You can't do this with copper, but with PEX, you have enough line, it's flexible, and now we see the damage. And now we're going to take our cutting tool and put on here, and we're going to get ready to make the cut. So in order to keep the hose from pulling back inside the wall when we cut the pipe, we're going to attach some kind of a handy object to the pipe with a couple pieces of tape here, just something to keep the hose from going inside the wall. Doesn't have to be pretty, just has to work. So the faucet we're going to install to solve this problem is a special design in that it, up here in this area next to the seat, it has a valve that when the pressure from frozen pipes begins to build up in here, a valve opens and allows water to vent to the inside of the house instead of breaking the pipe. We now are ready to put our shark bite fitting, which attaches to the PEX and also attaches to our faucet right here. And many people like to use the Teflon tape, but I prefer to use the pipe seal, and it goes on the threads a lot easier. Actually, a very tiny amount is all that's needed. I put a little bit on like that, and I spread the rest with my finger. Put it in the male joint, not the female joint, so any excess is extruded outside the joint as the pipe is assembled. Okay, and I've neglected to mention that we also need a pipe wrench for this, because this side of the faucet here is knurled. It's not flat on this side like we're going to use for a crescent wrench. So the easy way to set that up is to put this in here like this. Go ahead and screw this guy on by hand first until it snugs up, and then we're ready for a wrench on this side. And we want to firmly snug this up, not to over tighten, probably about 25 foot-pounds. And I think that's probably adequate. So now we've marked our depth that we want our PEX shark bite fitting to seat to, and now we're going to install our PEX fitting. Just like that, it's on. So now we've got our shark bite fitting installed, and we're going to go back out and turn the water back on out at the street before we put our fitting in the wall. But first we should also check to make sure that we've got our valve shut off here so this doesn't start spraying when the water pressure comes on. So now we're ready to turn our house water back on. Reverse the valve in the same direction you did before. Then take a look at the meter and make sure the meter slows down and spins to a stop. This will tell you that you don't have a serious leak. Now that we turn the water back on, we're ready to remove our little temporary stop, push the faucet assembly back into the wall, and reattach it with the screws that we had before. Now we're ready for our final test. See how it works? Job well done.